here we are at the Iron Goat Trail, which is right below Stevens Pass in the Cascade Mountains on the Great Northern Railway. Here we have a caboose off the Great Northern Railway from when this was an active railway line.
And where are we going today?
Today, we are going to be seeing the remnants of the infrastructure that serviced the Great Northern Railway before the big pass at Stevens Pass here, where it would go over the mountain.
Another great day in Washington.
Muddier. Oh, delightful. All right, well, here we are on the old railroad grade of the Great Northern Railway. Behind me, this big concrete wall is what protected the railroad from all of the snow buildup. So they basically cut this big section in, concreted this up, and then the train would run right along here, up the mountain slope, right to the pass.
Tell me about the tunnel here.
This is the Windy Point Tunnel. It's a pretty big tunnel. I'm not sure exactly how long it is, but it's one of the most intact tunnels on this stretch. And it was bored straight through the granite and concreted up, and the date on a lot of this concrete work is 1914. So over 110 years ago.
And we're going to walk through there, right?
We're going to go right through, yes.
Okay, join us on this walk.
Windy Point Tunnel. You can kind of see on the walls and the ceiling, there's a bunch of these little carabiners where people, rock climbers, will come and basically experiment with moving from carabiner to carabiner all through here.
And you're allowed to walk through here?
Yes, you are.
Okay, that's what we're going to do. You lead the way.
Okay. So you can sort of see here, originally there was beams bracing a lot of this. And then it was all filled in with reinforced concrete in 1914 to shore up the entire structure. But a couple of the tunnels in this line, this didn't happen to, and they were bypassed, and they're in a much worse state today.
How many tunnels are there?
There is, I don't know the exact count, but there is somewhere between 5 and 10.
How long is this tunnel?
Not especially long. It maybe is about a quarter to half a mile.
Okay. And we're gonna walk in the dark, but we have lights.
That's right.
Which is good to bring. And now we're coming to the other end of the tunnel. And as I look back behind me where we came from, it's completely dark. Very eerie in here. Are there any bats that live in here?
Oh, none that I've ever seen.
A little carve out here, Alan.
Yeah.
What is this?
This actually was a passage to get out of the tunnel that went at one time all the way to the outside. And you can see the light filtering in through the little crevice there.
Oh, I see that.
But
yeah.
at some point this caved in on itself. But at one point this was an access from the exterior to the tunnel from the outside.
Okay, in case you were stuck in here and needed to get in here.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're exiting the Windy Point Tunnel back on the railroad track.
It's just amazing.
So we just had lunch and now we're continuing on this level portion with this beautiful wall to look up at with the evergreens folding over, spilling over, shall I say. So let's continue this beautiful hike.
Okay, here we are. This is the outside of the Windy Point Tunnel, and we'll be going along the outside, and then down that end is where it dives back into the bedrock here. So follow us along. We'll go to the Windy Point Overlook that's on the outside of the Windy Point Tunnel. All right, here we are at the Windy Point viewpoint, and down here you can see the tunnel that was built in 1929 that made this stretch obsolete. It's a 7.8 mile long tunnel all the way down there that burrows directly under all these mountains and made it so this whole stretch was now a waste of time. And it's one of the longest tunnels that's train tunnels that's still in use today.
And here's the last tunnel that we're going to walk through on this fabulous hike. We're back at the caboose, which means we're at the end of our tour. Hope you enjoyed the hike.